Hey guys, I know it's been like 4 months since I've uploaded any videos or did anything, and I miss it. I do, and I want to do some more. There's still, by this time I thought I would be better. I know I am better than I was. But I know there was still a whole lot of mysteries that were going on with my body that nobody could figure out still. The septic shock that I had really ravaged my body. Not to mention the severe malnutrition. My body is having such a hard time coming back from it all. And then I've been in and out of the emergency rooms again so many times because of inflammation, because of my legs swelling up, because, not too long ago, it's like I'm like, okay, something is definitely not right. I still feel sick all the time. The other day, this is my hands. Both of them swelled and discolored like overnight. Just terribly, terribly painful. There goes the dogs again. Same thing with this hand. Hold on. See, every time I sit down to do a video, I've got dogs. But I'll have to show you another thing that happened as well. Come on, baby. So, I've got to know so much about my dogs and my cats. That's not even funny. But here, this boy, his name is Doug. I hadn't been out, and I believe that our pets choose us. They come to us exactly when we need them. I hadn't been out of the house by myself in over a month. I had no other choice but to, when I do drive, it's only a short distance that I drive. I drove down to the Family Dollar store, and then I had to stop at Safeway and get some milk. And as I was at the Family Dollar store, it's like weird how it works out, because I seen some commotion going on, and then I turned and somebody threw this dog out of their car, which he run into the parking lot. Thank God there was hardly any traffic. And this native lady tried to pick him up, but he wouldn't go to her. And I looked at him. He run right up to me, scooped me up in my arms. And the lady, that cashier, was cashier, and she was at the door as well. And she says, "Oh my gosh, he's taken right to you." And I'm like sitting here thinking, oh my God, this dog is clinging to me with every inch of its life, right? I can't just put him down and leave him here. So I brought him home. And it's like the last thing I needed, because you guys know, I already have. So now I have Lissy, which is our oldest dog. Then we have Lady. Then we have Little Guy. Then we have Choco, which is my daughter's dog until that I'm taking care of until she finishes with university. And I'm already just attached to him. And then we have now Doug. The reason I named him Doug, his name is Doug, is because from that first moment, he was just licking me and acting like he belonged here at my house. He's just like made best friends right away with the other dogs, and it was like I said, "What?" I said, "You don't even know me. You just met me and you already love me?" And one of my best movies is Doug. It's Up. And it's like when Doug says, "I just met you, but I love you." And I've been thinking about watching that. But guys, I still have a lot of therapy that I'm doing. There's a lot of things I'm still afraid of. I have to go to, so I had showed you my hands But then I had also, this happened to me last Monday. I thought I had another blood clot. My leg swelled up like 3 times the size. So I was rushed to UNM hospital again, thinking I had, because that's the left leg that has all the clot damage. And it just blew up. Like, try to change the, because there's that light in the background here. I need to get like a different, let me see, let me turn that off a minute, see if you can see. But it was very discolored, very, like 3 times its size when we got there. And it was, I'm not even kidding you, in this emergency room was like a war zone. I waited for like 13 hours just to get a room. And they did ultrasounds and everything and showed that there was no clot. And so then the doctor, who was a resident, he was like, I don't know, I'm going to have, because he told me before he even set up the Doppler, the ultrasound, he's like, it looks clotted. I'm sure it's going to come back with a clot. You know, just all the evidence is there. The pain in it, the swelling as huge as it is, the discoloration, the warmth. So he would, and me, just my history. So he was pretty sure it was going to come back that way, and he was surprised. And he says, well, I'm going to have the attending that's on duty come and take a look, because I don't want to miss anything. Maybe she'll see something I miss. But he was the same, she was the same way. She's like, well, did you she says, did you do something wrong? Did you twist it? I had been telling my doctors, it's very weird, but my veins have been like popping, and I keep pictures, and they're painful when they pop. It happens at the top of my feet really bad, happens in my arms, it's been happening in my legs and my knees, and my ankles. They pop, and it hurts when they pop. Then it swells up, and then it bruises. So it's very weird. And I've had mouth ulcers. These ain't for the faint of heart, you know. Sorry, guys. Just, these are some pretty dang crazy pictures. One morning I woke up just seriously, just huge. And we thought it was a medication. My lips were just 20 times the size they usually are. I had ulcers, what they call ulcers, in my mouth, around my gum lines, on the top of my roof of my mouth. I had my tongue swelled up. Might see there's some ulcers right there on my tongue. My tongue swelled up, was red. The whole thing was completely red within minutes. See, you can see some of them back there. So I've been really sick still, guys, and the hardest thing that I've been having to deal with is to still feel like I'm looking like I'm okay, but I'm not okay. I'm not okay, guys. I'm not. Mentally, this is drained to me, because it's hard to get pain under control. So they finally did a workup on me last Monday for an autoimmune disease. We got back the blood tests, and they show I have all the markers for autoimmune disease, which is probably lupus. But it has to be. I've had three doctors already kind of say that's what they think it is, that it's lupus. It's autoimmune. I've been put on a heavy steroid, harder than prednisone. It's way, way heavy, apparently. I've been put on that for inflammation, to see, because one of the doctors looked at all of those pictures, and he definitely says that's all the classic signs for autoimmune. And my anemia, my thalassemia, fits in perfect with it. All the rashes that I've been getting, random rashes all over my body that look like lesions. Headaches. I never suffered from headaches for like ever in my life. That's one thing I always thought so great, you know. So I started getting headaches, and then all of a sudden I needed glasses. So everything that that lupus is, it kind of explains, because I always feel like I have the flu. I always feel like I'm just sick, like I've never had any energy, like I'm just always sick. And you know, people could probably say to me that that's the way I've been all my life. You know, it was hard to be around me because I was always sick. But it's got a diagnosis now. I believe that's what it is as well, as an autoimmune disease. Yes, I'm still dealing with the very slow recovery from the sepsis. I was still in the hospital this time last year. So whenever I got off the feeding tube, hasn't even been a year. Won't be a year until like late July, end of July. So my body still hasn't fully recovered from that, and we just couldn't figure out why all the inflammation, everything was still swelling, why a lot of things. And then they also had to throw my gallbladder surgery back. It has to come out because I've had pancreatitis 3 times now, and inflammation in my gallbladder again. But when I went to the surgeon, he had seen me last time about putting the RNY, the feeding tube within my stomach instead of behind my nose like I had it. So he wouldn't do it because he says, you know, Miss Wilson, do you realize how critical you really are? And then he was like, that he wouldn't do it. So that's why I had the feeding tube that went behind the nose, all the way back behind and into the intestines. So, you know, that was a heck of a journey. I've been on a heck of a journey for almost 3 years. I thought I'd be done by now. It's been hard to hold on. You know, I have my 2 older grandsons that I love so much. I got to meet my new grandson. He'll be a year older in September, but you know, like I said, my oldest daughter hates me and blames me for so much, no matter how much I've apologized. But I can't, it was, you know, this last straw is I couldn't be always running to everything that they wanted me to, because I still can't even really drive myself places. I still have lost feeling in my legs and fell several times, to the point where I had to get back on a walker. So I miss living. You know, I am definitely, there's the cat now. Yeah, hold on. Come on, Brad. I tell you guys, you know me, the ones that watch my videos. You know, I was hoping to be at a different place by now. I know everything about my dogs and cats. I know everything. I'm not kidding. I treat them like my kids. I mean, they basically are. They keep me going. If I didn't have them, I don't know what I'd do. I know all their little, their individual personalities, how they interact with each and every different dog. What pushes their buttons, what they like, what they don't like. It's almost like I can read their minds. This journey definitely hasn't been an easy one, you know, because I've lost so much in the process. You know, you go back to anybody who's ever studied the Holocaust, or anybody that knows anybody that's ever almost starved to death over a slow period of time, and how grueling that is and how torturous that is. You know, I remember reading The Tattooist of Auschwitz before I got really sick, but I don't know how they made it all those little bit with very little food and skin and bones. I don't know how a lot of them survived. I couldn't even pull myself up in a hospital bed. It was a while before I could even sit up. I couldn't even walk. I had to learn to re-walk again, redress myself, everything. Learn how to eat again. And yes, I still have a lot of fear that rules me. And I am in therapy, and I'm trying to change all that, because I know the fear is not healthy for me. I am scared to live because of everything that traumatic that I went through, in the last 2.5 years now. Trauma changes a person, and I know there's a lot of you that have watched my videos that know that you guys have went through the same type of trauma as well, because this, most of my last videos have been going through my recovery. Look at when I first started my channel versus to where I started getting sick versus to where I am right now. Yes, I may look like I'm doing a lot better that way, because I am. Now I have to start watching what I eat and maintaining a healthy weight. How messed up, man. How fucked up is that if you think about it? There I, I've always loved food. Food and me have this strange, toxic relationship. There's no other way to put it. It's a damn strange, toxic relationship. I was addicted to food. Food was my best friend when I was going through my divorce, my divorce. And I figured, hell, I'll just eat. Because I didn't have no other vices. I ate. And then I ended up to where I couldn't lose the weight. Then I couldn't lose the weight. I knew it because I didn't have no energy to exercise. So then, not only did I almost die from being overweight, I almost died for being anorexia. Anorexia nervosa is what they diagnosed me. Medically induced. Not that I went and made myself throw up. Not that I didn't eat on purpose. It was medically induced by my dysphagia issue. But, I'm going to put this one on here. This video, it's already 17 minutes long. I'm going to start doing some different, there's more videos. There's a couple more that I'm going to work on today because I've really got to do something today to keep my mind in this different type of headspace zone today. Because today it's windy, it's cold, and it's quiet. And sometimes that's not good for me. Sometimes that's not good for me. So I'm definitely going to do this one. I'm going to do another two because there's something else I want to do a video on, just due to the fact that you guys can go back when I tell you here pretty soon that you could see who I loved so much that I even did some reaction videos or just said, hey man, do you guys like this? It's like this person I love, is because it just brings smile to my face. But guys, I know I'm still here for a reason. And the reason I haven't given up is because I know there's people who haven't given up on me. People that I would hurt if I wasn't here. If I took that way out, if I took that route out that I've thought about. I almost stayed in the hospital a few times when I went to see my psychiatrist and stuff, because I was a very high suicide risk there for a while. Some days I feel like a burden. It's not an easy thing to go through. Just let me know if any of you guys have been struggling with anything that you feel like you can't get over, and maybe we can help each other out somehow, even if it's just a little bit of a voice. I've been hiding under a rock, trying my hardest, and I feel myself being isolated again, and isolation is not always healthy. Alright guys, I'm going to do a couple more videos because I want to discuss something else, so we will be coming back to you here in a little bit. Alright guys, love you all. Thank you.